Mob Rules is rated M for a mature audience. It features coarse language and a sex scene.
Oh my God! What's happening? What is it? Look at the size of it! Why did we bring a gun?
Don't tase me, bro! Don't tase me! I didn't do anything! Ow! 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 Ow!
And how fucking dare anyone out there make fun of Britney after all she's been through?
This fella here over here with the yellow shirt, Macaca, or whatever his name is.
Even now, our enemies are searching for signs of weakness in our great land.
Fuck you judgmental people! He is dealing with a lot right now. You don't make fun of him. If you want to make fun of him, you are going to have to go through me.
A man has been jailed for using his mobile phone to incite revenge attacks after the Cronulla riots.
Leave him alone.
They remain silent because the prize is so great. Rudd is one. They are many.
He's defending me! Leave Chris Crocker alone! Don't tase me, bro! Don't tase me!
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to turn this around. We've got to go back. We've got to go back.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. Where I stop and I turn and I go for a ride. Till I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah,
The world has changed. The world is changing, and the world is going to change a whole lot more. Now, we lucky few, we band of coders, we bear witness to the most comprehensive transformation in human language since the advent of language. And we are embedded in this transition. We make it happen with every script we write, and every page we publish, and every blog we post, and every video we upload. And for that reason, because we're inside of it, it's very hard to see the forest for the trees. It all looks very crazy and very chaotic. Now, in the midst of the 20th century, an American ethicist, H. Richard Niebuhr, wrote that the first question of ethics is not what is to be done, but rather, what's going on? So, this Arvo, before we retire to the Shubin for drinks and pleasant conversation, I'm going to take you on a tour of this very peculiar present, because something is happening and it is so unexpected, most of us don't even know it's going on.
Are you Timmy? Damn it! I'll find him.
Let's begin on the shores of the Indian Ocean in the South Indian state of Kerala. For at least the last 1,000 years, the fishermen have sailed out their dhows to sea, they've prayed to their gods, they've lowered their nets, and if their prayers weren't answered, they caught a healthy catch. And then they had a decision to make, where to bring their catch in, because the coast of Kerala is dotted with little fishing villages, and the fishermen can pick any of them to sell their fish. Now, it's done more or less at random. Maybe they remember they got a good deal somewhere. Maybe they remember there was a market that treated them well. And so the fishermen just sort of dock at random. And over the last 1,000 years, what that's meant is that on any given day, several boats will dock at one port, and that market will be oversupplied with fish. The fishermen won't get a good price for that fish, and they won't even make back the costs that it took them to sail the boat to sea. Meanwhile, there's another market that's just a few kilometers away, and that market has no fish available at any price. And that kept the fishermen poor for thousands of years, and it kept the markets perpetually either oversupplied or undersupplied. Now, from 1997 through 2001, as India began the meteoric rise into industrialization, Several firms there, several telecoms firms, dotted the coastline of Kerala with GSM towers. Now, GSM is a radio signal. That means that a radio signal will reach as far as it can until it's blocked by something. In this case, when it's out to sea, it's the curvature of the Earth, which is around 25 kilometers. Yeah. A GSM handset is an expensive item for a Kerala fisherman. It costs them about a month's wages. Now, to put that into equivalent Australian terms, that's $3,000 or $4,000. That's more than my N95 cost. But at some point, some wealthy fishermen somewhere along the way got a GSM handset and they took it to sea. And at some point when they were at sea, they had some sort of communication with the mainland. We don't really know what it was. Might have been some family event, who knows. And some point during that conversation, they learned that there was a port where there were no fish for sale that day at any price. And the fisherman goes, aha. And they set their sails for that port, and they brought the ship in, and they sold their fish for a tidy profit. And the next day, the fisherman's out at sea, and what does he do? He makes a phone call. He calls around to the different markets and finds out which markets needs fish. And he makes a tidy profit that day. And so it began. Now, fishermen are part of a tight-knit community. They might not talk about where their favorite fishing spots are, but they all trade techniques one with another. So within a very short time, all of the fishermen of Kerala had all purchased GSM handsets, and all of them were making calls into markets while they were still out to sea. So today, the fish markets in Kerala are very rarely oversupplied with fish and are almost never undersupplied with fish, because the fishermen and the fish markets have created an emergent market out of SMS, out of voice, out of this constant web of communication, and it distributes the catch efficiently across the market. The customers are happy because there's always fish. The fish markets are happy because there's always just enough fish to guarantee a good price. And the fishermen are happy because they're earning so much more that that GSM handset pays for itself in just 2 months' time. Now, none of that was predicted. None of that was expected. None of it's been anything but shocking to the legion of economists who are now going to Kerala to study and document the phenomenon. And to our Western Isles, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We think of a mobile phone as a bit of bling. It's something that maybe makes our lives a little bit easier. It removes the frictions from our social interactions. After all, in the era of the mobile, we're never late, we're just delayed. You can always call and say you're sorry, or you can always text to say we're broken up. Now, while they're useful in our lives, they're hardly necessary, And really, we don't need them for our economics. But, of course, when you have one, you're available 24 hours a day wherever you are on Earth, so the boss can ask you where that project is. And, of course, that's a bit more of a pain in the ass than a blessing. But at the end of the day, for us, they're extraneous. They're nice, but they're non-essential. Except they are essential. Because study after study is confirming something that we already started to suspect. The very poorest people on Earth, that's the 5 billion people, or earn less than a few $1,000s a year, can benefit enormously from pervasive wireless communication. It seems counterintuitive. Why would a subsistence farmer in Kenya need a mobile phone? Well, as it turns out, that farmer and a farmer in Nigeria and in Bangladesh and in Peru, they'll phone ahead to markets and figure out which market has the best price for their produce. So left to their own devices, human beings trade and create their own markets. And when mobile communications enter the mix, their ability to trade effectively increases enormously.